Whenever you are starting something new, something that is unknown to your subconscious mind, something you've never done before, it is completely normal and natural to experience self-doubt, fear, anxiety, worry. What we want to do is we want to set ourselves up for success by building our foundation, that being our mindset, and then developing upon that mindset with the skills that allow us to progressively strengthen our belief in our ability to achieve our goal or our desired outcome. We're going to talk about exactly how to do that. And I'm going to help break this down so that you can apply this process, this framework to any new goals or endeavors that you're stepping into. Now, first, we want to look at what is this goal? What is this thing that I am stepping into that is new and unknown? And we want to start to get clear within ourselves on what it is that we actually want. Where are we going? What is our target destination? So I'm going to use an example here, which was the inspiration for creating this particular training. So you're stepping into a new role. Could be in your own business. It could be as a contractor or consultant in some type of sales position. And you are new to the product. You are new to the organization that you are perhaps representing. As an entrepreneur, it could be a new service that you're offering. It could be something that is a higher ticket than you've ever done before. This is an unknown as far as your subconscious mind is concerned. What does that mean? That means you have no previous frame of reference for that. You haven't done it over and over and over again. It's not like riding a bike if you've been riding a bike for the past 10 or 20 years. This is something that is brand new, unknown, and probably triggering some fear, some self-doubt, and some anxiety. So now look at that goal. What is the goal? What do you really, really, really want? So in my example here, if your goal is to sell this new product or service, I want you to clarify first and foremost before we go any further, what do you want? What does it look like? What does it feel like when you are successful? Notice that there is an embodiment of a state of mind, a state of being, meaning you're confident, you're secure, perhaps you're charismatic, perhaps you feel like what you are offering is such an incredible value. You feel confident in your ability to reach out to people or to have conversations with high-level people. You feel confident in your ability to achieve certain outcomes. Now, if your goal was to do a keynote speech and you've never done that before, what would your ideal outcome be? Feeling confident, standing on the stage, being charismatic, engaging, receiving all of the praise and positive comments and feedback when that presentation has concluded. Take a moment and get so clear within your mind now. What is the objective? What is the goal? What are you creating with your intention? There's a reason that you are undertaking this new endeavor. What do you want to get out of it? That's step one. Now, this is something that we are going to progressively lean into because a big part of creating that mental, emotional foundation is to program the mind to become familiar with you as that person, okay? You being the confident, charismatic person on the stage, you being the sales guru, okay? You have to start to create that as a known in your subconscious mind so that it feels familiar, it feels comfortable. It starts to just become who you are. You've been practicing in your mind, thinking like that person, feeling like that person, seeing yourself taking all of the actions on the journey to creating it as that person. So, for example, you're preparing for your speech, there are going to be various different stages that you go through before you're ever standing on the actual platform giving the speech. You want to be the confident, clear, passionate person while you're preparing the speech, while you're writing the outline, while you're coming up with the various different stories that you are going to tell, when you're practicing it, when you're honing it, when you are reciting it and getting yourself ready, even when you're picking out what you're going to be wearing. You don't want to be insecure during all those steps. So we have to start to be intentional about seeing ourselves and feeling ourselves as that version of us that we are choosing to create ourselves to be through all of the steps. If you are selling that high ticket service, you see yourself as believing in it, knowing how valuable it is, understanding exactly what that client is going to get in terms of benefit. You see yourself easily being able to soften their objections and show them the value of the product or service. You are able to hold the energy of knowing that if something is really truly good for someone, that you can speak about it with confidence, not in a pushy way, but in a truly convicted way, meaning you absolutely believe. And you believe in yourself so much that you see yourself reaching out to people, having interaction, feeling confident, feeling comfortable, feeling the other person responding positively to you, feeling like it's so normal, it's so natural, it's so easy for you. So that each step that you are taking to become that version of you who has that goal that you've identified, you are progressively programming your subconscious mind to know what that feels like to be that version of you. You're practicing it so that it becomes a known in your subconscious mind. Now, what we want to remember is there is the inner game of business and of success, but there's also the outer game of business and success. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the outer game and how it's very important to really master the inner game to also master the outer game, because confidence comes from experience. So let me give you an example. If you had been visualizing yourself giving that keynote presentation and receiving the standing ovation, that's wonderful. But you may notice that if you're not actually preparing for that talk, if you haven't learned what are the critical elements of giving a really compelling, engaging speech, if you don't know any of those actual skills, then in many respects, it's more just a wish. It's a fantasy to be visualizing and imagining that. You're not actually doing the other important piece of this manifesting your goals process, which is taking the actual actions to create it. So in our example for sales, what do you need to do to become highly skilled at selling that high ticket offer? You need to understand what it is that you're selling. You need to understand your client, who you're selling it to. What do they want? What do they need? What are their fears? What are their objections? As you begin to learn more of those things and you learn about sales techniques, right? Not the salesy, sleazy things, but you start to actually prepare yourself mentally, emotionally, psychologically to be very, very good at what you do. That is naturally going to create within you a sense of confidence and conviction in your ability to achieve your goals. So, when we're talking about overcoming those initial fears, the anxiety, the self-doubt, can you see how important it is to not just try to jump right into it without doing the mental preparation, the inner work, as well as the outer work? Now, I see this a lot. People know what they want, and they have this unrealistic expectation that they're going to be great at it right out the gate without any practice, without any real experience. That is a recipe for failure. It's a self-sabotaging pattern because it's natural for you to make mistakes. It's natural for you to encounter things that you didn't prepare for, you didn't expect were going to happen, and now you've sort of got to figure it out, right? So remember how the mind actually works as you're going into this new endeavor. There's going to be a learning curve. You are going to probably be a little bit awkward in the beginning. Accept that. You'll learn from that. If you've ever read the book, Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz, he does a fantastic job of explaining how the mind learns, how our brain actually works. We don't come out of the womb experts at everything. We learn. It's built into us. It's the way that we are constructed. So what do? What does a child do when they're learning how to walk or any other skill for that matter, something that's new and unknown? First, they have the desire. Then they try something. And oftentimes it doesn't work that well. Now, some people, especially adults, right, they interpret that as failure. It's not failure. You're learning, okay? So then what does the mind do? It processes that data and it makes some adjustments and it makes some refinements and then it tries again. And it continues to take that, quote, failure feedback, right? This didn't work this way. So let's see, how we can change it a little bit so that we can get it right. That is the way that we learn. That is the way we become proficient, okay? So reframe it. You're not going to be amazing the first time that you give the speech. Even if you've practiced over and over and over again, and you give an impeccable speech, guess what? If you continue speaking, you're going to become even better, right? So whatever it is that you are wanting to achieve, I want you to take a moment and I want you to remember, I'm clear on the goal. I know where I'm going, and I will continue to practice thinking and feeling as that version of me with the confidence, the charisma, the skills, all of that stuff. And then I am going to be proactive. I am going to take action on those steps that are going to get me from where I am to that goal. I am going to spend time learning the skills. I'm going to spend time working on my mindset. And if you continue to do this, I promise you, the way that you have been designed as a human being, you can achieve your goal. For some goals, it's going to happen faster. Maybe you have less resistance. Maybe you have some natural skills and abilities in that area. For other goals, it may require a bit more work. But if you stay the course, you will get there. Okay. I am going to wrap up this training. I hope it has been helpful. Remember, there are other tools inside of the Academy to help you overcome specific issues like self-doubt, to increase your confidence, right? To overcome fear of rejection. There are those specific areas that you can lean into for additional mindset support. And we will wrap up this video. Until next time, we will see you in another video.